Cancer, welcome to your energy check-in. As you guys know, these readings are timeless and signless, and as always, it's my pleasure to do this reading for you. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me, please do feel free to check for my Etsy link. I offer readings starting at 20 and going all the way up to close to 300. And I have quite a few, so come on in, come on down and see what's here for you. I encourage you also to check out some of the other signs, because I've noticed that, messages do tend to overlap, right? Okay, so let's see what, oops, oh wow, okay guys. Looks like a lot, if this reading is for you, Cancer, or whoever you are, because you're most likely attracted to the title, and I encourage that 100%. For whoever you are, looks like an opportunity for love has, I don't even know if the words would be slipped out of your hands, or you saw how that happened, or whether it's been dashed or just whatever. I'm going to go ahead and rest it here because it did come out. Okay, there we go. But what instead you're focusing on is an elevation upward. It's so funny because you guys know that if you don't know, I do have an Instagram channel, just for fun. And the name of that channel is at Awakening All You Lightworkers. And I do cross post the smaller readings for about 20 minutes on Instagram. So the one that I just recently did for Cancer, if I remember right, it seems like it's a similar energy going on here. Makes sense. It was like, what was it? Taking a time out from love to focus on your karma first. What was it called? Oh, a dream deferred or something like that. Focusing on focus on your karma first. And just these 4 cards alone already show that you are the same collective that I read for in that one. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit, it's going to probably feel like an extended reading for you then, because this is going to be a longer one. So just to summarize, it looks like some of you, if this reading is for you, you have love is on the back burner, and I do feel that you were not able to hold on to it no matter how you tried. This is a connection you may have tried to revive and renew, and it just slipped right out of your hands, and there was nothing you can do about it. I do get a lot of you are tired and exhausted from this situation as well, whether or not you'd want to admit it. I do feel here that you are going through some energetic shifts that are designed to bring you into a higher state of being. They keep giving me this energy of tires. So for somebody, oh, some harsh lessons coming in I'm getting. But first of all, for somebody here, if tires mean something to you, like maybe a car tires or something, there's something in this message for you, or just for whatever reason it means something. But as I'm also feeling messages that are coming in while I'm trying to finish up that message, I'm getting that there were some harsh lessons here for some of you. So kind of makes me wonder, like, okay, obviously the blaring elephant in the room is like, oh my gosh, this love is way at a distance now, either physically, temporally. But my question now is like, okay, if there are harsh lessons, it kind of gives me this vibe, like, is it that this person is not going to materialize for you again? Are you not going to have a rebirth? Where is the harsh lesson in here? Is the harsh lesson just in the form of like, oh my gosh, this hurts a lot, like it hurts? Or is it also like, oh my gosh, I've lost something and it's not coming back? I'm not sure, but I do see this card here at the bottom saying an invitation to connect. So that tells me that there's more to the story. And I want to see what this is about. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. So I am seeing here that we have earth healing and we have divine feminine. Again, this is coming through here as it's almost like you need to pick up a package first. So I'm going to go ahead and look for, oh, okay, that's it. That's the card. Literally, I was like, I'm going to go ahead and look for a card that I know is in here. I literally expected it to be somewhere in here, but look, it's at the top. It's the receptivity card, because when I think about a package, I think about this. So Spirit, this could possibly be the deferral right here, where you're like, well, you need to take some time out because you need to connect. You may actually be connecting with other people, but more, karmic people, whatnot, to in order to learn a lesson. I really feel there's a harsh lesson that's coming in if you haven't had it as yet. It feels like that. And why I say that is because whatever it is that you have to learn, the means through which you're learning it may feel to you very painful, like a separation alone, for example, is very painful, right? But I see that this may involve other people. It may be, we can even think of it as a divine detour, but what you're going to be picking up along the way, I love that they're making me do it like that. What you're going to be picking up is yourself, right? And I feel that this is like, it's been something that has been knocking at your door for quite some time. And it almost feels like you've been maybe having multiple events in your life that have been trying to get you to open up to your higher self, trying to get you to love yourself, trying to get you to practice more self-worth in the form of self-care, in the form of saying no to certain people, certain situations. And maybe it's just gotten to this point where spirit is like, traveling, just kidding, no, where they're just like, blowing the whistle. They're like, stop everything, stop, cut, we need to take care of this right now. And so you may end up finding that the way that you're learning this lesson may seem to be a little bit harsh for you. But that being said, at the top here, we have this divine grace. I gotta be honest, I'm getting that this process itself, they're reaffirming what I was about to say, need not take more than 4 months, is what they're saying. And time already served, right? Let's go ahead and count the at some point in March, in April. Now we're in April, but look at this 4, because I was just getting that 4, and then I saw over here 4. So they're saying, that's the truth. So for whoever you guys are, this time out need not take more than 4 months. It really 100%, I'm getting, depends on how quickly you can surrender, to the divine to take care of business. 1, 2, 3. Okay, look at all those 4s. Look at this, 3 and 1 is 4. Look at this, 44, right? Look at you running away. Oh my gosh. Okay, take yourself out on a date. So whenever I see this card here, this one here, it reminds me of this energy of coming home to the self. So we see that here. This is all about coming home to the self. And I do feel that spirit has been, there's Saturn in the background. Don't play spirit. Spirit has been trying to get your attention for quite some time. There's another 4, right? And the way that they've been trying to get your attention over time, you see how I'm like needing to cover these cards, because there's so many things that are waiting for you, as we see in these cards. But spirit is like, no, we're putting a lid on it. We are putting the kibosh down on whatever. There's no movement until you deal with this. We have the 45 here, so there's this energy of 4. It's this energy of like, you need to get your work done. You need to get your work done. You need to elevate this. It doesn't need to take more than 4 months, but it's coming in with that 5 energy, of conflict in the tarot. Whenever you see a 5 on here, we're going through some stuff, right? Speaking of this 32 card reduces to a 5, but interestingly speaking, this card is coming through with the energy of ease. The anointing of ease, they say, will come through your agreement to surrender to the divine, to say, Jesus, take the wheel, Shiva, take the wheel, whatever you need to do. And what does surrender look like? Let's talk about that for a second. Surrender, they're saying, looks like making a pact, P-A-C-T, with yourself, that you're going to give yourself the time to work on this. What is this, quote unquote? This is really going to depend on you, right? And how is the work going to be done? It's really going to be depending on you. You guys know, some of you may need therapy, talk therapy, cognitive therapy. Some of you may need to start exploring some type of psychological services, right? Psychiatric services for some of you, right? I'm not necessarily feeling psychiatric psychiatric, but I'm just covering the gamut here. Some of you will require some type of energetic shifts. You know, that comes in many forms. Of course, I do energy shifting. You can check my website for that. I do shadow work as well, all of that. Hi. But also remember that you can work with your angels and guides, and they also help you to shift energy. For some of you, I'm getting that this is about health. This is about working out. This is about putting your feet to the treadmill, so to speak. So there are quite a few things, and Spirit is saying some of you are being asked to do cleaning up your diet, all sorts of stuff. For somebody here, or for a few of you, it's almost like they're trying to get you to do things now to help you later on down the line, so that you're not, you know, suffering with some type of debilitating health issue or something. So they're trying to get you to take care of that now. And for others of you, it could be about needing to get you to take care of, you know, your self-worth and stuff, right? Notice how I keep wanting to shift that card. That's more about me, because I have Virgo rising, and I'm like, it needs to be straight. So whatever is going on, well, you know what, as I said that, why am I sharing that with these guys? And then I said, it needs to be straight. So what they're using that right there, also talk about somebody here has to, they're saying the words own up. Get it, God? Somebody here needs to own up to their sexuality, own up to your sexual orientation. Look, this is not, well, I mean, some parts of the country, I was gonna say, this is not back in the day where people are like, oh, you can't be this, you can't be attracted to someone of the same sex. And I was like, wait a minute, there are some people still in this country, God bless, who are still under that impression. But either way, Spirit is the spirits I work with, they're not about that life. So they're saying, listen, be true to yourself. This is time for you to, quote unquote, own up to what it is that you feel is right for you, and to move down that path. If that's you, you're gonna know, because you're gonna be like, okay, I'm getting it. And chances are Spirit has closed a few doors for you in particular, because they wanted you to get this. I hope that makes sense, okay? So long story short, guys, if you're on this call, we're all coming with different details, but the dynamics are universally applied here. And the dynamic in some is that Spirit has given you a time out so that you can take care of business, whatever your quote unquote business is. Take care of it so that you can fully resume your life, running at the speed of light to this love that you are wanting, or whatever this love card represents. But I do want to call our attention to the card at the bottom left. It says throne. Your potential is endless. But what I'm cluing in on with this card is the presence of counsel. All right. So we know that these are your guides that are stepping forward, and, you know, council members to say, hey, you know, what are we doing? Take a look here. Oh my gosh. So remember, I was just like, oh, should I move it in my mind? Because I know that they want me to not even show other cards, because they're like, you're not getting to see anything until you see this. But the minute I move it, look, 1, 2, 3, there's still 3 on there. So they're good. Spirit is good. And take a look here. See the presence of Saturn hanging out in the back, just hanging out in the back, just letting you know, yes, you've been going through a lot of karmic stuff, because we're trying to get your attention. And look, we're all just stardust. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at you. All of these little stars show. And look at all these little stars in their background with her little fire. She's like, look, we've been sending you a lot of karmic partners, a lot of karmic events, because we want you to pay attention to what it is that you need to do. And what it is that you need to do is to go inward and work on yourself. Look at her beautiful nails, your beautiful nails, male, female, gender non-conforming, it doesn't matter. They're literally the universe in the nails. So it's like they're trying to get you to know, here you are, super cute, but looking outside of yourself to accomplish something, to have love, or to do whatever it is that you want to do, but you're not realizing that you are the one that possesses all of this. And so you see, this has been you for quite some time, running away from doing the inner work. And it's understandable that you would want to run away from doing the inner work. A lot of you may be coming from a background of severe trauma, right? And so, needing to go back into that. I'm feeling my throat chakra starting to quiver right now as I'm talking about this, right? So needing to go back into that and revisit these things. And sometimes, a lot of times, these things require or include this energetic connection with somebody else who, it's just, so I understand that there are many reasons why you may not want to face some of these shadows or look at some of these inner child issues because of the trauma that's associated with it. But Spirit is promising you that if you can get on board with this, the path will be easy. Again, I'm getting no more than 4 months. So let's say 4 months from now is going to be about August, right? So whatever this thing is, or this person is, or this opportunity is that has been pretty much put on hold, I definitely feel that if you are destined to be with that person or in that place or with that job or whatever, it will come back around. It will come back online around around August, if you actually do the work. Now, let's talk a little bit quickly about something. So for some of you, you may actually not understand what this thing is. So for example, let's say that you, hold on, let me give a little sage spray, because we're going to talk about this. Let's say that you think, like, let's say you're dating somebody right now and it's not working, or you really like somebody and it's not working. And so you are listening to this reading, thank God, and you're listening to this call with our angels and guides, and you are, they're going to be moving some energy right now. So that's why they had me do that. So if you feel it, let's just roll with it. It's just them. Don't worry about it. But so let's say that you feel that you're recognizing this message because you're like, oh my God, Janelle, you're totally right. There's this relationship I'm struggling to get off the ground, and oh my God, and I know exactly what you're talking about, Janelle. But actually, I want to come in and say that for some of you, it could be the same person, place, or thing, or whatever that will come back around. But for some of you, it's not the same person. The thing is that part of that person that you're thinking about and whatnot is part of this karmic thing where Spirit has once again placed a karmic partner, a karmic opportunity in your way to get you to kind of wake up. And it hurts and everything, but you're getting the word divorced from this person, place, or thing. They're just using that word. But what is actually waiting in the wings and is on hold is this thing. Could be another person, place, or thing, or situation entirely that you can't even perceive of as yet, because you're still within the realm of this very karmic thing. They're saying that looks similar, right, to what this is. It may seem like love. It may seem like the person you've been waiting for, or the opportunity, but it literally is not, and it was never designed to be. And so Spirit is saying that they've got to put a stop to your life at this point, so that person is not going to come in because you are still stuck here, believing that you're with the person. Now, I do want to say that I'm getting a German connection for somebody here. So for somebody your person is German, right? Or there's some German connection going on. But I'm seeing this cute little bird coming in the 6th month, they're saying, to kind of tell you, it's like to tell you all is clear, right? So let me feel into this a little bit. You know what I'm kind of getting in the 6th month in June, or whenever you watch this is the 6th month from here. You know what? Hold on. I'm saying, sorry guys. Anyway, it's signless and timeless and blah blah blah. And I'm locating March as kind of being the starting point, but it's hitting me that actually it may have been earlier. Okay. Anyway, whatever. So I'm getting 8 months from now, but I'm also getting the words August, which tells me the word August, which tells me that some of you may have already been on this path. So we would technically kind of be in the 4th month and then 4 more. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's timeless, signless. But long story short, I'm getting that when this energy, this karmic energy has been cleared, look what's going to happen. See, you're going to know, because look how she's alone. She's enjoying, I would say enjoying. She's feeling this peace after a lot of heartbreak, because I'm getting 3 of Swords energy in the past with this card. 3 of Swords energy is about a broken heart, you know, all of that. But look at her as the Hermit, being able to relax, being able to wake up and not be in tears, not cry that day, not feel this yearning, not feel this long, whatever, and being better able to connect with her higher self and to connect with why this has happened, right? So there's a sense of awareness that will start coming in for you. But look, by the 6th month, you're going to get a notification from Spirit that says, hey, it's all clear now. Because you're going to start feeling better, of course, before it's technically all clear. In other words, you're going to start having better days from whatever you're going through now or have been going through for the past few months. You're going to start getting better days. But it's going to be alchemically, because remember we start off with this energy shift, it's going to be alchemically out of your system by the 6th month, whenever your process started, the 6th month after that. And this is all assuming that you get on board and you surrender, right? So a lot of you may actually have already surrendered, or you have not surrendered, but either way, Spirit is saying that your time period that this is going to take, gosh, why am I getting, guys, I'm getting a lot of different timings now that even I'm starting to get confused. Okay, anyway, because I'm like, well, have some of you been on this 8th month, been going through this for 8 months? And then some of you, it's 4 months. Anyway, doesn't matter. Stay out of the timing, divine timing. Either way, what I'm trying to say is you're going to know, that things are clear, because you're going to start feeling better, whichever month that is for you, whether, because I was also getting the 3rd month, to be honest, and I didn't mention that, the 3rd month. So for some of you, you may have been starting to feel better in March, right? Or 3 months after, whenever it is that you started. But either way, you're going to start having better days, and then eventually you're going to get a notification from Spirit. Whatever that notification is, or however it comes to you, you're going to literally get it in the 6th month of your process. It could also be in the month of June for some of you who have already started this process already, okay? But you're going to get that, and you're going to be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But I do feel that around the 3rd month and 4th month of your process, or around March or April, you're going to start having better days. And that means you're not crying in the shower, crying in the car. You may cry on some days, but it's, you know, it's just going to be kind of night and day. And then eventually it's all going to be out. Now you notice how this card aligns neatly underneath this receptivity card. It's like right down the middle, whereas these are a little bit off, right? So this is showing a little bit like the process is going to be a little bit wonky for you guys. There is a learning curve. It's going to feel horrible at first or at some point, but eventually, look, it's going to be something that you accept. And when that happens, that's when it's going to be time to resume whatever your process is, okay? So let me go ahead and draw. Yeah, your angels and guides, the council I'm looking at, they're saying it's for your own good. All right, that's what I'm getting. Oh, look at that. Thank you. You see how they work? Look at this. Oh, look at the undercard. Rapid development. Okay, I've got to do that. Rapid development, excellence, success. But you see how they work? After you complete this process, yeah, again, the timing, for some of you it's going to be 4 months, right? For some of you it's going to be longer. Again, it really depends, like I said, on how early you surrender, okay? But for those of you who are only now starting to surrender and whatnot, you may actually be starting to have better days and whatnot. And eventually I do see August being the time around when you're going to be wrapping this personal story up, this timeout, this detour. And then look how they work. See, once that happens, like boom, the next step, you're done here and you get back up onto your regular path. Things start resuming. And I see, look, the card that comes out, it says the present. But it's like the present in the present moment, because remember, this is time out. Time. And then you come down here, you work for a few months, you come back up and time in, you know, and now we're back in the present. But at the same time, look, there's the gift. It's a gift that you're receiving. So here you're all caught up. You're this new person. You've cast away your stress, your all of that. And then look right here. Divination, wisdom of the shells. Look at her looking up, right? And it's funny because it's like it's crossing these two cards when it came out, right? It's funny because she's looking up, she's done the work, she's still kind of wearing her headdress that she was wearing here, and she's like, okay, I'm ready. What am I getting? And Spirit is saying it's not only what am I getting, because look at her wanting to receive. The question she should be asking herself is, what am I expecting, right? And notice the 32 and the 32. These are mirroring each other. So when the path resumes for you, obviously your expectations will have changed because you've gotten rid of a lot of that dead weight, that low self-worth, that karmic need to engage in a cycle again with someone who's emotionally unavailable, somebody who is, they're saying the words tragic. So some of you may be dealing with some people who Spirit is choosing to use the word tragic for. And I do feel that, look at this card, for some of you, whatever it is that you have given up, you see, it's almost like maybe that could be returning again, like I said. But also for some of you, you will, how can I put this? It's kind of gotten a feeling for some of you that you'll be able to look past that, is what I'm getting. So that's telling me that you may still be in connection, like in the vicinity of whoever that person, place, or thing is that you've given up during this karmic release and all of that. But you may no longer feel that pull towards this person. You may actually make a choice not to engage. So that could be somebody that maybe you work with, or maybe somebody that you go to school with or go to church with, or it's somebody in your friend circle that you were just really having a hard time moving past. But after you do your inner work, you kind of no longer necessarily feel that 100% pull towards this person. It's like because you've cleaned up your low self-worth issues, it's most likely what it is. You're no longer looking for this person to complete you or fulfill you, or to be that quote-unquote familiar energy that you have always been gravitating towards because of unhealed trauma. And because of that, your charge for them, your electric charge for them, your connection has dimmed, and you're just like, now this person who used to be like, oh, so unavoidable to you and so attractive and so this and that, now maybe they just seem meh. Well, they could do better with their life. Or, oh, I hope they do find somebody that they love. Or, oh, that'd be great. Or maybe we can double date. And, eventually it just kind of, it's no longer there. And so then guess what? You're looking past them because you're looking for something more. And then you will find it. Again, for some of you, it's quite possible that you will actually get back to whatever that person is. And that's why there's this concept of time out, because the timeout is needed because you can't see, right? You can't assess what's in your life at this point because you're too much in triggered mode. So long story short, there's no way to know at this point who or what or that is representing. But Spirit is saying that you have the key to what it is that you need. And it's interesting because they're showing that this card is literally saying keep going, but at the same time there's this time out. So we're getting this energy of like needing to pivot. Spirit is saying detour time, quick, go right. It's like Neo in the remember Neo in the Matrix when the agents come to his office building and then Morpheus calls him on this phone and he's like, get down, and then he's like, now don't move until I tell you to, but when I say go, you're gonna leave here and you're gonna go into the next cubicle, and then it's kind of like that. You're getting information as you go, but you have to trust spirit and you have to be able to pivot. You have to be flexible. And for those of you who are really struggling with giving up somebody, with sacrificing, I don't want to use that word sacrificing. Look at the word that came out, confusion, right? So that's what's happening. There's a lot of confusion going on. And so that's why you're being asked to take this time out, okay? So for some of you being asked to give somebody up, I would say please trust that spirit knows what they're doing and there's a reason why you're being given a time out, okay? Hold on, they're asking me to get this blue card. I don't know what card it is, but this blue card. And there's that card off to the right as well. Look, treat your body like the palace that it is. And look at this, the card off to the right, the other blue card. There's the Atlantean palace in the background. So they're saying that a lot of you, oh look, oh my God, it looks like the same thing. 1, 2, oh my God, they're so good. They're so funny, I swear. They're saying that a lot of you guys have not been paying attention to your value, your self-worth, right? You've been allowing yourself to go all over the shop with all sorts of people. And I do feel that for some of you, you may be giving away your temple, so to speak. You're just sleeping with people, or even if it's just one person, that person is so not worthy. I'm just saying, God bless, God bless. But I'm just saying they're pointing to that. And it's almost like starting to realize that you are the temple, right? But at the same time, they're also saying, remember, a lot of you have star origins. I mean, we all do technically, right? Because we're here. But a lot of you have, this isn't your first rodeo. A lot of you are actually light workers, and I wouldn't be surprised because the people who tend to gravitate towards my work and get personal readings from me, they always have some type of spiritual service, that some type of karmic contract that they have signed, a contract that they have work to do here, and they usually have to be awakened, or they usually have to have energy shifts or clear something or just whatever, so that they could step into that. And so spirit is saying, rightfully so, I believe, that a lot of you have to remember that they're saying you come from royalty. And usually when those kinds of messages come through, I'm like, okay guys, but A Course in Miracles says that there are no special relationships. No one is better than the other, no one this and that. But you see, for a lot of us down here, we're in ego, and so our first step is to be like, oh, well, that means I'm better, or that means I'm, but that's not the way that they mean it. They're meaning it in the sense that, listen, really, some of you do come from royalty, from beyond, and you just don't know it. You don't connect to it. You're not made to remember. I just looked at the time. It's 33 minutes and 3 seconds when I look down. That 333, that alignment, right? Honor thyself. So Spirit is saying, if you really knew, a lot of you, if you really knew the stream of consciousness along which you rode to come in here, right? If you really knew the family of light that you belong to, you would never, as they're saying, cast your pearls before swine. And they say it in that way, and this is not to paint piggles in a bad light, because we love pigs and they're great, right? But this going along with the saying and that meaning, right? Spirit is saying that you do have to level up. I just looked at the clock. It was 33 minutes, 45 seconds. That's 345, 45 seconds, 345. So they're saying that is that leveling up that you have to do. And for those of you who are, kind of thinking, well, where's my person? If you're in that kind of mindset of my twin flame and this and that, I just want to let you know to kind of, I know this is hard, but abandon all of that. Like, get rid of that mentality. Just reach in your head and your heart and pull that out. Because whether or not you have a label on that, it's not going to threaten any higher level connection that you may have with a divine counterpart or just whatever. But please do look at that kind of ideology along with any ideology that you hold, whether it's ideologies about other people and their value, or whether it's about politics or whatever. Look at it and cull it. If it is directly contributing to your lack of empowerment and lack of sovereignty in your life, then you need to get rid of it. It's unsustainable, right? And also, a lot of times, people may say, oh, this is my twin flame, or this is my guy, or this is, but actually, at the very least, from a psychological standpoint, this is somebody who you share a codependent bond with. This is somebody with whom you're playing out attachment issues, unhealed inner child wounding, all sorts of stuff. And also from a reader standpoint, a lot of times I see past lifetime issues, and it's like locatable because we're healing it, and so it comes up in a reading. It's like, oh, actually you're feeling this pull towards this person because of this lifetime and that lifetime. And I have to be honest, when I in the readings that I've done, you know, which at this point it's probably close to 600 readings, right? The readings that I've done for people, clients, friends, family, and that's not even counting the YouTube readings that I've done. I have only seen what would feel to me like a marriage of some sort only about 3 times. I always say this to people. Maybe I'm not the twin flame reader, or I don't know, but I you know, a lot of people come and said, this is my twin and this and that, and I just don't feel it. I don't feel it. It feels like a different frequency altogether. It feels like the same energies. It feels, it even is tinged with gold energy when I feel into it and I look at it. And so I do want to say that please be careful when you're applying these labels, because what happens is the result is that it drains you. Spirit is saying it drains you, it drains you, it drains you, you give away your life force. And they're pointing out how we have this divine feminine, and they're saying wisdom of the divine feminine. Wisdom as the divine feminine, have the wisdom, and don't keep feeling like you need to meet up with somebody. If you have any idea on this planet at this time that you're watching this, that I'm supposed to meet up with somebody, or I'm supposed to be with somebody, or my person is this person, they're saying drop it. So if you're watching this reading, chances are that you've possibly slipped into a loophole in your mindset where I want to say bought into it, but a part of, because I'm channeling, but a part of me is like, oh wait, I don't want to use those words, but bought into an idea that isn't necessarily, they're saying, they're using a more gentle word, isn't necessarily fruitful for you. Okay, so at the very least, they're saying, look at it. If it's not yielding, get rid of it. And don't even think that, oh, I got to get rid of this person because they're not yielding. Don't even look at the person. Get rid of the ideology. And it starts with, if you're watching this video and you're like, oh, but this is my person, this reader said that, and we're tied up, and hand fasting, and oh, girls, ladies, men, get rid of it. They're definitely being strong about that, because it's keeping you stuck. And look at the card that came out, confusion, right? Now let's see what this card says. Sharing. There's giving in receiving, and receiving in giving. So spirit is starting to come through here. You see how it just pushed you over a bit, because this is a lesson that needs to be learned. This is the 6 of Pentacles energy I'm feeling coming through this card. Also the Justice card coming through. You have to learn what it means to have give and take, reciprocity, balance, because a lot of us, a staple of this whole relationship thing, and whether you want to label it with twin flame or divine counterpart or just whatever, a lot of that is built upon low self-worth, and you end up spending so many years stuck with an idea that somebody who isn't giving equally to you is your person somehow. Spirit just wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? And so um, we do have to clean up a lot of what it is that we are believing. And in fact, look at this card, expectations. Don't seek anyone's approval. Now, as I say that, Spirit is saying, and I'm feeling it, that some of you might be on here thinking, you know what? Yeah, that's all well and good, Janelle, Janelle Bean, whatever you call me, right? But I know this is my twin because I have psychic phenomena. We're really telepathic together. And I get that. Trust me. Look, I get it. A lot of times when we readers are doing readings about certain things, it's because we've already experienced it. We are experiencing. We teach what we need to learn, right? And we're channeling, and we hold that frequency, and because we hold that frequency, we're able to tell you about these things, and we have the extra added, thank you God, goodness of having guides here with us to help deliver the message. So to that, I would say, trust me, listen, I know that telepathy is real. That's real talk right there. People who say it's not real, no, it's a real thing. You could dream about this person, you can talk to this person real time, just like I'm talking to my guides here. You could sing songs with them, they'll dance with you, they'll watch TV with you, and sometimes that's an attachment. Okay, the guides are like, that's an attachment sometimes. Sometimes you are dealing with a spiritual attachment that is with you. And sometimes there's really something going on. You may have these dreams, you may have corroboration with signs, but be very, very careful, because what happens a lot of times is that people always ask for signs, but they fail to remember that you will always get signs that corroborate what it is that you believe, because you are literally manifesting in your world and populating your world and creating more emphasis on certain things than others based on what you believe on the inside. And so we always constantly have to be going inside and culling what it is that we believe to be true. Otherwise, we're literally manifesting the very thing that we are asking the universe to show us. If this is my person, show me 222 or whatever. You really believe this is your person, so you're going to start seeing signs to it, as opposed to seeing signs that are your guides are legitimately sending you, right? That are actually saying, no, get rid of this person. And so my compassion is there, because we just sometimes don't know, and that's where the D word comes in, discernment. And discernment takes time. Discernment starts with learning about what feels right to you, what's going on with you, and it has to be independent from anything going on around you. Because if you're so tied up with another person, right, whether it's a relationship or just whatever, if you're so in somebody else's orbit and you so want a certain outcome, it's impossible almost for you to have that distance that you need to really be able to feel your own self, to feel yourself. And so if you're on this call, chances are Spirit is trying to get to you and to isolate you, because that's what's happening here. You're not able to discern. That's where the confusion comes in. And so a lot of times, who you think is your person and what job opportunity you think is for you, and whatever else it is that is being represented in this card at the top right, is actually most likely not. It's just something that has been sent in to teach you, and your discernment is off, and so you hold a certain belief about this, and it's just being reinforced and reinforced. And so Spirit is kind of giving you a timeout. I just looked up, 43 minutes and 34 seconds, that 4334, that whenever I see the numbers kind of coming like that, it's not 4343 to align, it's 4334. So there's usually some type of contrast or conflict there, and that's what we're talking about. So Spirit is basically saying you are being placed on time out so that you can get everything right, so that you can have the time and the space that you need to create a a more discerning view of your world. So this is inner healing. I do see this card is called the Eternal Gatekeeper, but whenever she comes out, she really, they're saying she really shines. But I was going to say she really comes through as the Justice card to me. So this is the Justice card stepping in to create change for you in your life. Look at who's waiting right there, Spirit Self. So this is your higher self. This is a time out for you to do your higher self. I do have to say that for some of you, you may actually be going through a time in your life. If it's not Saturn return, it could be a Saturn return, but it could be a time when you're feeling a little bit of a midlife crisis. This is not everybody. I'm just picking up for some people it is. For some of you, this is a sacred gateway. So let's talk about that. For some of you, this is going to be a sacred gateway that they use to kind of like you're going on one track, right? And you think you're going here, but they're like time out, and then they, boom, send you up into another place altogether. So your sacred gateway is going to send you into mission for some of you. So you're going to start opening up to certain spiritualities and new modalities of healing. You're going to have a philosophical shift. So I'm getting some energies like Renaissance. This is a renaissance for you, Cancer, whoever you are at this time. Now, we often hear sometimes that in order to give birth to a new life, we have to have the death of the old one, right? Hold on, let me take a sip of water because my throat is like, 1 second. No, hold on to that. Think about that for a second. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, I'm back. Yes. So you're going to be having a kind of a renaissance. You're going through a shift. They're saying a karmic shift. Very, very well. Very well done. Yes. Yeah. Oh, maybe they're saying very well done for me. Thank you. Thank you. But here's what I'm seeing. So Eight of Wands, fast moving energy, communication, but I saw it pointing up like that. And then the next card under it was the Six of Swords. So it's a change in direction. But you know what's interesting? Look at how we have this Eternal Gatekeeper, right? The Justice card. And it's almost like she's caught an arrow. Got it. This isn't for you. This is for you, right? So the Justice card is stepping in to stop you from going down a path that is not designed for you. Now, again, and of course, the more this reading goes on, the more I start to feel like there might be really less of you who are going to reunite with whoever it is or whatever it is that you're giving up now. If that happens, that's just you. There may be 3 of you. I don't know. But it seems like most of you are going to be shifting to a different level altogether. And as you do that, I do feel that you are going to be... how can I put it? You're going to be picking up some skills. It's almost like you're going to have an activation of some sort to do your, someone is saying medical stuff. So some of you are going to be segueing into, oh yeah, okay, that's sweet, into the medical community. Now, when I say the medical community, so for example, technically I'm in the medical community as I feel energetically above, right? Energetically as I feel above from a higher perspective. Well, I'm partially in the medical field because this is healing. This is healing work. And as it exists on the other side, we have all types of healers, right? They're saying, right? And so when I say you guys are heading into the medical field, it almost feels like a little collective of you. I wonder if you guys work together on the other side and you're like this group and you may not meet in this lifetime, but you're all drawn to this situation and then you're going on a certain path. It just kind of gives me that vibe. So there's at least a group of you in here that maybe know each other and you're just not going to meet in the physical, but you know each other on the other side. I'm getting that. So yeah, so anyway, long story short, this is looking like a divine intervention and a divine shift to give you a renaissance moment in your life, to have a turning over of a new leaf. So as I said that, somebody's father is stepping forward, and I'm getting this image of being in the park. It could be, it even feels like being in the park in New York, right? You know, where there's a bench here and there, you have a seat, New York City, and you have a seat, and you've got your father's there, and you guys are walking together, and you have a seat and you talk, and so somebody's, and he's saying that the season feels like autumn, but I'm also getting spring. But it's interesting because I'm seeing leaves falling, and you know, and they're in that orange color. It's beautiful. So this is for someone, and you'll probably know who that is. I'm also getting the name Roy. It may not be related to this person that I was just picking up on, this father energy that I was just getting, but I'm also getting the name Roy, so that could be for the same person or for someone else, okay? Yeah, so spirit is saying, and you know what they're also saying, guys? They're saying that it's almost like autumn's going to be here before you know it. You know, it's going to be here before you know it. So that kind of gives me this feeling like, I know if you're feeling like how I feel, it feels a little bit like, oh, it feels like, oh, have I done something bad? Is this remedial? Am I being asked to take a time out because I haven't done what I'm supposed to be doing? And it feels harsh, like they said earlier, because it's like what I want is being taken away, and I never get anything, and I'm put on time out, and I just want to be happy, and I just, you know, all of these feelings are there, and it's like, you know, a lot of times when you want something so bad, you just want to be loved at the end of the day. And so it can be hard when you're being asked to take a seat and to you know, time out for you, and give up this person that you want, and give up this job that you'd like, and give this up and move, and you're sit down, and you know, it feels bad because you like, I just want to feel happy, I just want to feel loved, I just want to not worry anymore, not feel like I always have to be working so hard, like I'm this terrible person, like I don't love myself, and the list goes on, right? And this is completely understandable, and I just want you guys to know that I feel that energy too. I feel it here, right? Even in the reading. And Spirit is saying that it's just that sometimes we get in this rut. They're saying it's called a rut. Sometimes we get in this rut, and we're driving somewhere, and we end up turning onto a street that turns out to be a dead end, and we've got to, guess what we have to do? Sometimes you want to back right out, but sometimes you have to just keep going, and so you can make the turn around, and then you've got to go back out the way you came, and of course you're going to see all the things that you were just involved in. You got to give it up, you got to get back on this road. It's going to, you know, and so they understand that, but they're saying that there's no use in staying where the sun don't shine, where the trees are not getting the sunlight, right? You have to double back, you have to get back on the path. And so that's what's happening. And so I do feel that this is going to have a good payoff. And like I said, the saving grace here is that it's not going to take more than 4 months, at least from now, is what I'm getting. If it takes more than 4 months, that's possibly because you are still working towards surrendering to the divine. And part of surrendering means letting go of whatever this thing is, whoever this is that you are still trying to hold on to. And that in itself can be a feat, because a lot of time, feat, F-E-A-T, because a lot of times we're holding on to this person, place, or thing, or situation, because it gives us this sense of security that we, you know, we most likely struggle to receive. It's like, oh, you know, if you look at it really, it's like your friends will be like, but this person doesn't return your calls, he missed your birthday, he's not sensitive to your needs, he doesn't even know you exist. And meanwhile you're like, yeah, I know, but something inside of me wants to still stay in this unrequited situation, because you know what? It's doggone better than being alone. I'm tired of being alone. And so you see, in that very moment, you are on some level acknowledging that this is not good for me, but I'm still holding on to it because of my fear of being alone. And that goes straight back to childhood. And a lot of times it goes back to other lifetimes as well, right? And excuse me, I see like my throat is now starting to like, and that was actually a throat chakra, but also a heart chakra situation. Something in the heart shifted and came up, and that's what actually choked me for a second. So you see, a lot of you guys, as we talk about those feelings and as we feel into them, you see what happens? Something is dislodged. A blockage is dislodged. And see, the more and more those blockages start to come up, I looked at the time, it was 54 minutes, 54 seconds. That's alignment, right? 9 and 9, nearing, we're getting somewhere, nearing an ending, right? The more and more those little things, those blockages in the heart space start to come up, because we're vocalizing it, we're voicing it, we're acknowledging it, that feeling that we have of wanting to hold on to that person, place, or thing gradually dissipates. The word is dissipates. It just evaporates. It is dispelled. It's almost like it was never there to begin with. And that's what we were talking about earlier, when we start to look at this very same person that you can't live without, or this thing or this situation you can't live without, and you realize, yeah, I see why I was kind of interested in that person, but I'm just not feeling it anymore. Oh, well, I hope they have a, I hope that they find someone who they love. And suddenly you can say those things. And suddenly other people start to seem more interested. And suddenly the same person that you were all into starts to just not seem enough. Like, oh, they always seem so busy. Oh, gosh. Or they always seem so depressed. Or, oh, I wonder if they're okay. You're starting to see the cracks in the foundation. Right now, you can't see those cracks in that person or that place or that situation or that thing, because you are so seeing them as being able to fill your cracks. And so Spirit is like, you've got to start voicing your pain, vocalizing it. What are you most afraid of? It's most likely going to be something like, I'm afraid of being alone. I'm afraid of being judged. And of course, we're afraid of being judged because we think that by being judged, we're going to be left alone. So at the end of the day, it's really going back to this fear of not being wanted and being left alone. And so the more that you write about it, the more that you draw about it, the more that you vocalize it, the more that you visit it and revisit it with counselors for some of you. And I do feel some energetic counselors coming in for you. So you do have people lined up to help you. The more you do that, the more you're going to realize, oh my gosh, at the end of this period, oh my gosh, I was in such a headspace. I believed in twin flames. I believed in this. And I'm not saying they don't exist. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that on this call, Spirit is pulling in people who may need to hear this. If there's somebody who has a real twin flame out there, or really is in a loving, committed relationship with somebody, or just whatever it is, they most likely would not feel that energetic tug to come in here, because their guides would probably be like, oh no, this ain't for you, go ahead, do whatever you need to do. So please know that this is your guides kind of reaching out. And as I'm saying that, I'm feeling my heart quaking a little bit. So it is dislodging a little bit some stuff. So I do feel that some of you are hearing whatever it is that Spirit is bringing through right now. And so I do feel that if you can get started on this journey, it will have some payoffs, okay? It's funny because I just looked up and I saw 58 minutes, 11 seconds. 5 is that conflict. 8 is that walking away. If you can work through that, I just looked up 58:22. You see, if you can work through the conflict and the pain that you feel around walking away from something, around taking a time out and stepping back, it's going to lead to that alignment, that 11, that 22, that 33, that whatever, the 44 that it is that you need. And that's all shown, represented by that card. In fact, 9 and 2 is 11, 29, right? And so anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave it here for you, but I know that it can be painful. Trust me, I know. Okay. Again, I wasn't born yesterday. I'm going to be 40 next year, not to publicize my age, but I don't really care. But you know, so this isn't my first rodeo, all right? So trust me, I know that it's painful. I know it hurts, but it's time to kind of start making these moves. Spirit is trying to say. So if this reading is for you, then that's your message. If it's not for you, then I hope that you were able to glean something from it, even if it's just a little piece. And of course, if you'd like to have a personal reading with me, please do come on out. Hit me up. I do all kinds of readings, past life, shadow work, energy shifting, clearings, you know, we have written readings. We got everything. Either way, I wish you the best. Mwah! And feel free to check out some of the other signs if the title suits you, okay? Don't worry about whether it's your sign or not, okay? All right, guys. God bless. Bye.